JYP Entertainment is one of the most popular companies among aspiring idols. So many people want to audition for JYP, and there's a reason for that. JYP is known for choosing trainees who are close to who they already are. They don't just look for perfection, they look for people with potential, personality, and the ability to grow. On top of that, JYP is very open to foreign trainees, which gives people from all over the world the confidence to try. But because of this, the competition is extremely high. Thousands of people audition, and only a few get noticed. That's where most people get stuck. Not because they're untalented, but because they don't know how to stand out while still being themselves. In this video, we'll cover all the things that are important for your JYP audition, from what JYP looks for, the types of auditions, and how to choose the right song or dance, to common mistakes to avoid, tips for foreign applicants, what happens after you pass, and final strategies to increase your chances. By the end, you'll know exactly what to do to give yourself the best shot at a JYP audition. I suggest you don't skip any part of this video, because every chapter has something that could give you an edge in your JYP audition. From what they're really looking for, to avoiding common mistakes, to tips for foreign trainees, missing even one part could cost you your best shot. By the end, you'll have a clear, step-by-step plan to approach your JYP audition like a pro. Let's get into it. Before you even think about songs, dances, or outfits, you need to understand one thing. JYP auditions are not about showing everything you can do. They're about showing the right things. JYP looks for three main qualities first: basic skill, rhythm, and authenticity. Basic skill means you don't need to be perfect, but you need control. If you're singing, they want to hear clear pitch and stability. If you're dancing, they want clean timing and coordination. Overdoing tricks or complicated moves won't help if your basics aren't strong. Rhythm is extremely important to JYP. Whether you sing, rap, or dance, they pay close attention to how naturally you move with the beat. Someone with average skills but great rhythm often stands out more than someone flashy but offbeat. And the most important part, authenticity. JYP is famous for saying, be yourself. They don't want you to copy an idol perfectly. They want to see your natural tone, your natural energy, and your personality. This is why people say JYP chooses trainees who are closest to who they already are. Many people fail JYP auditions because they try too hard to impress. They force expressions, exaggerate movements, or choose concepts that don't suit them. But when you look uncomfortable, it's obvious, and JYP notices that immediately. Standing out at a JYP audition doesn't mean being the loudest or most dramatic. It means being comfortable, confident, and natural in what you show. Now let's talk about the different ways you can audition for JYP, because choosing the right audition method can already put you one step ahead of others. JYP mainly has three types of auditions: online auditions, offline auditions, and global auditions. Each one tests you in a slightly different way, and understanding that helps you prepare smarter. Online auditions are the most common and the most accessible. Anyone from anywhere in the world can apply, which is why so many people start here. This option is great if you're still building confidence or don't have access to live auditions. However, because thousands of people submit videos, JYP staff don't have time to watch long or messy clips. They usually decide within the first few seconds whether to keep watching. That's why clarity, good audio, clean video, and confident delivery matter more than flashy editing or complicated concepts. Offline auditions are done live, usually in specific cities. These auditions are more intense because you're performing right in front of staff. Here, JYP is not only watching your skills, but also your mindset. They notice how you walk in, how you introduce yourself, how you react if you make a mistake, and whether you can stay calm under pressure. Sometimes, someone with slightly weaker skills but strong confidence and attitude leaves a better impression than someone technically better but nervous and stiff. Global auditions are similar to offline auditions, but are held in many countries around the world. These are especially important for foreign applicants. JYP uses global auditions to actively scout international talent, so they're taken very seriously. Many foreign trainees who debuted under JYP entered through this route, which is why keeping an eye on global audition announcements is very important. No matter which audition method you choose, one thing stays the same: preparation beats rushing. Don't audition just because an opportunity appears. Take time to prepare properly, choose what shows you best, and walk in knowing what you're presenting and why. If you're finding these tips helpful, don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps me bring more content like this. Now let's talk about the mistakes that cause a lot of people to get rejected at JYP auditions. Not because because they lack talent, but because they misunderstand what JYP is actually looking for. One of the biggest mistakes is trying too hard to impress. Some applicants overdo facial expressions, add unnecessary power, or exaggerate movements because they think more is better. But when you push too hard, your performance starts to look forced. JYP prefers performers who look comfortable and natural, even if the performance is simple. Another common mistake is poor preparation. This includes not knowing your lyrics properly, forgetting choreography, or being unsure of your timing. Even if you have talent, hesitation can make it seem like you're not serious. Preparation doesn't mean being perfect, it means being ready. A lot of people also make the mistake of showing too much at once. Singing, dancing, acting, and showing tricks all in one short audition can actually weaken your impression. JYP would rather see one clear strength than many unfinished ones. Another big reason people fail is losing confidence after a mistake. Almost everyone makes small mistakes during auditions. What matters is how you handle them. If you freeze, panic, or stop completely, it shows a lack of mental control. If you continue calmly, it shows maturity and professionalism. Finally, many applicants underestimate the importance of attitude. How you greet the staff, how you listen, and how you respond to instructions all matter. Talent can be trained, but attitude is something JYP pays close attention to. Avoiding these mistakes won't guarantee you pass, but it will put you far ahead of most people who audition. Now let's talk specifically about foreign applicants, because this is something a lot of people worry about. First, understand this clearly. JYP does accept foreign trainees. Many international idols under JYP started exactly where you are now. Being foreign is not a disadvantage, but how you present yourself matters. One mistake foreign applicants often make is trying to hide who they are. They force accents, copy Korean mannerisms, or try to act like someone they're not. But JYP actually values individuality. Your background, culture, and natural tone can be a strength if you use it confidently. That said, effort matters. Showing interest in Korean language and culture leaves a good impression. You don't need to be fluent, but simple greetings, clear pronunciation, and respectful behavior show that you're serious about becoming a trainee. Another way to stand out is communication. Listen carefully to instructions, respond clearly, and show a positive attitude. Even if you don't fully understand something, staying calm and polite shows maturity. Finally, confidence is key. Don't apologize for being foreign. Don't over-explain. Walk in knowing that JYP invited international talent for a reason, and you belong in that room just as much as anyone else. Now let's talk about what happens after you pass a JYP audition, because this part is often misunderstood. Passing the audition doesn't mean you debut. It means JYP sees enough potential in you to invest more time in training. If you pass, you'll usually be contacted for the next step, which could be another audition round, an interview, or a training evaluation. Pause for a second and hit that subscribe button if you want more insider tips on K-pop auditions. You'll thank yourself later. At this stage, JYP looks closely at your attitude and adaptability. They want to see how you respond to feedback. If they correct you, do you get defensive? Or do you listen, adjust, and try again? The ability to improve quickly is one of the biggest reasons trainees are kept or dropped. Training itself is intense. You'll be learning vocals, dance, performance, sometimes rap, and even basics like posture and expression. This is where many people realize that talent alone isn't enough. Consistency, discipline, and mental strength matter just as much as skill. Some trainees stay for years, others leave earlier. None of that means you failed. Training is about growth, and every step teaches you something valuable, even if your journey changes direction. Passing the audition is not the end goal. It's the beginning of a much bigger process. Before we end, there are a few final tips that can genuinely increase your chances at a JYP audition. Things that don't always get talked about, but matter a lot. First, be consistent, not dramatic. JYP doesn't look for someone who suddenly tries hard for one audition. They look for people who can show steady effort over time. Practicing a little every day builds control, confidence, and muscle memory. That kind of consistency shows in your performance, even if you don't realize it yet. Second, master the basics. Things like posture, breathing, rhythm, and balance might feel boring, but they're what make everything else look good. When your basics are strong, even simple performances look professional. Many people fail auditions not because they lack talent, but because their foundation isn't stable. Third, learn how to handle rejection. Rejection is extremely common in the idol industry, even for people who eventually debut. Getting rejected doesn't mean you're untalented. It usually means you're not ready at that moment. What matters is whether you use that experience to improve or let it stop you completely. Fourth, take feedback seriously, but don't let it destroy you. If you receive criticism, use it as information, not as a personal attack. Improving from feedback is one of the biggest qualities JYP looks for in trainees. And finally, trust yourself and your preparation. If you've practiced, understood what you're presenting, and stayed true to yourself, then walk into the audition with confidence. Nervousness is normal, but self-belief is what allows you to perform clearly even under pressure. At the end of the day, JYP auditions aren't about finding someone perfect. They're about finding someone with potential, discipline, and the mindset to grow. And now that you know how JYP auditions work, what they look for, and how to stand out in such a competitive space, the next step is leveling up another skill that will make you unforgettable on stage. If you want to improve your singing skills and look completely natural on stage, then click this video right here. I'll meet you there. Bye!